American families squeezed under growing economic pressure, hammering their finances on multiple fronts. The cost of meats, poultry, fish, and eggs surging 12.5%.
Tonight, Americans are now facing an even more grim reality. Inflation accelerated 7.9% in February, a new 40-year high. Today, President Biden responding, saying he's fighting to bring down prices, blaming inflation in large part on what he calls Putin's price hike. But prices surged last month almost entirely before Russia invaded Ukraine.
When Biden took office, the inflation rate was sitting at 1.4%. But as we've been digging out from COVID, all this money thrown into the economy, we see what the inflation rate is doing. The question is it going to stop going up?
The latest report out this morning is expected to show an 8.4% spike from a year ago. That would be the highest since December 1981.
That new inflation number rising again, the worst in 4 decades. The consumer price index up 8.6%.
Gas prices up nearly 50% in the last year. Groceries up 12%.
Gas prices averaging a whopping $5 a gallon for the first time. The U.S. stock market tumbling into...
I have a plan to bring down the cost of gas and food. It's going to take time.
Today's report shows inflation even worse than last month, now running at 8.6%, the fastest pace since 1981. Food up 10.1%, led by soaring egg prices as bird flu ravages chicken flock. Gasoline surging every day, $4.99, today's national average, but $6.42 a gallon in California.
So did you remember that? I don't know. It seems like there's many people out there who don't seem to remember any of this stuff happening. This seems like it's such a distant memory for some of these people. You lived it. I lived it. But the media and the Democrats seem to act like, no, everything was fine before. It's not true. As I've said many a times talking to you guys, the only way this Democrat Party exists is by cheating and by gaslighting. And so their population and their voters are just mind-numbing zombies. I hope you've been watching the calendar up in the top left of that video. I got more to show you so you can see how they were tracking things and how the graph of inflation and everything was straight up. It sucked. But now Trump's been in office 1 year, not even close to those numbers, fighting the media, fighting the Democrats, fighting the people in the House and the Senate, fighting his own people, the Republicans. And people are like, oh, it sucks right now. Like, yo, you don't know what it sucked like. You don't remember. You know, I sit here, I'm watching my grandkids yesterday in the pool and having a great time. And I felt, we just closed on this real estate deal. And I'm like, I have a heart full of love for this country and a huge belly full of absolute fury at the economic wreckage that Biden and his administration left behind and now pretend like it never happened. And the shameless, ongoing propaganda machine the Democrats are still trying to run. They're still trying to do their gaslighting and propaganda campaign. And the media dutifully comes to these press conferences and plays along. They want you to forget whatever happened. The only way they exist is to erase history. They don't even want you to remember John F. Kennedy. Oh, wait a minute. What's this whole thing about ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country? Oh, sacrilege. It's all about what my country can do for me. No, you leeching idiots have turned everything on its head just so you can get a handout. I'm going to tell you something. If you think the left has any shame, any memory, any connection to reality, you need to watch the video. You need to maybe download this and watch it all over again. All they can say is that, it didn't happen. It's a lie. But we have the video. This compilation takes us right back to all the pain we all experienced. You should never forget that you weren't allowed to go to church. You should never forget that you may have had a loved one in the hospital and all you could do is put a hand up to some plastic. You should never forget that somebody may have died. And you should also never forget that they somehow found a way to keep the liquor stores open. And then as your wallet's emptied, you should never forget what they did to your 401k, to your house value. Every one of you so-called boomer age conservative MAGA supporters, which I am, we remember it like it was yesterday. It didn't go away. It's right there. As we were going through this video, January 2022, people at the grocery store checkout looking shell-shocked because inflation was squeezing the families dry. March 2022. Walking down memory lane here, Joe Biden there standing with a straight face reading off a teleprompter about how jobs remain strong, while the numbers showed just the opposite. April 2022, NBC News flashing charts, inflation at 7.9%, highest in decades. June 2022, groceries up 11.9%. Family spending $350 more a month just to eat. And now here, July 2022, CPI at 9.1%, the worst since Jimmy Carter. And it goes on. Here, let's watch some more.
Number on inflation, worse than expected. The consumer price index, 9.1% higher than a year ago. The typical American household spent $493 more in June to buy the same goods and services than they did a year ago.
The bottom line is jobs are up, wages are up, people are back to work, and we're seeing some signs that inflation may be, I'm not overpromising, may be beginning to ease.
Well, first of all, let's put this in perspective. Inflation rate month to month was just an inch.
No, it wasn't, Joe. Excuse me. It wasn't up just an inch, Joe. It was up a mile. All right, let me tell you about Rumble, one of today's sponsors. You may have seen the conversations happening online lately. Censorship is back, and it's happening everywhere. Platforms are controlling narratives called algorithms and pushing the stuff they want you to see. We need to fight back. Rumble is the only company that has stood the test of time and deserves our support. On one side, Rumble is challenging big tech, censorship, and now they've also introduced another site, something that will give us protection from big banks shutting us off. Banks can cancel our accounts and they can freeze our cards. So that's why they've launched Rumble Wallet, a wallet that no one can cancel and a wallet that supporters can use to instantly tip their creators without any middlemen taking cuts. With Rumble Wallet, you control your money. Not a bank, not a government, not a tech company, not even Rumble can touch the money. It's yours. It's only yours. It's yours to protect your future and your family. It's not only just a wallet to buy and save, but it allows you to support your family, favorite creators by easily tipping them with the click of a button. There will be no fees when you tip my channel or others, and we actually receive the tip instantly, unlike other platforms where we have to wait for payouts. Support my show and other creators by clicking the tip button on my Rumble channel if you're watching on Rumble. It's wallet.rumble.com. Download Rumble Wallet today, open an account, and step away from the big banks for good. Wallet.rumble.com, or search Rumble Wallet in your Play Store or App Store. September 2022, Biden mumbling through yet another press conference. February 2023, which you'll see him at the podium declaring the Biden economic plan is working. And then May of 2024, Biden on CNN with Aaron Burnett, who's still on the air gaslighting, still trying to sell the same fairy tale BS. This isn't ancient history. This isn't something that you guys should allow to be forgotten. With all the psyops happening on X and Facebook and everything else, this video would just show you. You remember this, guys? Oh, no. You remember the contrast, comparing it to where we are now? Oh, no, it was never that bad.
At all. You're not arguing that 8.3 is good news.
No, I'm not saying it is good news, but it was 8.2 or 8.2 before. I mean, it's not, maybe I can make it sound like all of a sudden, my God, it went to 8.2%. Am I taking blame for inflation? No.
Why not?
because it was already there when I got here, man. Remember what the economy was like when I got here?
See? That's when he was in office. Here, look at 2023. They just showed you at the beginning of the video how it went straight up. Everything they do is it didn't happen. It was like that when I got here. No, it wasn't. Even ABC and NBC were showing the chart showing you screwed it up. Oh, it was just when I got here. But they don't push it. The Biden-Harris disaster was lived in living color. The one the Democrats and their lapdog media, including Fox News, are now desperately trying to memory hole. Gavin Newsom, slick-haired Willie, salesperson, governor of the People's Republic of California, he posted something saying, this aged well, probably some cherry-picked clip trying to claim Bidenomics was a triumph. And the American people are replying over and over, no, it wasn't. We lived it. We paid for it. Some of us paid dearly. Some of us had people who died. We remember the pain at the pump. We remember the empty shelves. Remember buying toilet paper? Whoa, there's no toilet paper here. Where's the toilet paper at? Oh, we don't have any more. Why don't you have toilet paper? Why was there a shortage of all things in the store of toilet paper? Those of you who remember, you're laughing now like, yeah, I remember I was hoarding toilet paper. I remember how Robin and I got toilet paper. I was working for the advertising agency. And I was like, how are you guys? You order from a corporate account, not a store. And I started ordering those giant rolls that you see in those dispensers inside of office buildings. And that's how we were able to have toilet paper for days. I still have those giant rolls. Still got them. You remember your retirement account getting hammered? The truth bomb that these people can't get away from is now dropping on their house of cards if you guys talk about it. It'll detonate all over their campaigns. I put up a tweet this morning and I said something to the effect, I wonder if everything we're seeing right now with the rhinos and the dark dooming black pillars, I wonder if this is all a psyop. So that when the inevitable win does come, it sparks riots. Because the polls are crazy. We all live our lives. We know how things are. We know what they did. Why would we ever want to go back to that? I don't know.
Jobs were hemorrhaging. Inflation was rising. That's why I don't. No president's had the run we've had in terms of creating jobs and bringing down inflation. It was 9% when I came to office.
He just made stuff up. He just made stuff up. And people like this woman who's still on the air, Erin Burnett, just let it go. Don't question old Joe. Wow.
But there's real pain. I mean, grocery prices are up 30%, more than 30% since the beginning of the pandemic. And people are spending more on food and groceries than they have at any time really in the past 30 years. I mean, that's a real day-to-day pain that people feel.
It really is. And it's real. But the fact is that if you take a look at what the people have, they have the money to spend.
You got the money. We're taking it from you. Hey, let's do whatever we can. And Bernie Sanders is out this weekend talking about taxing more. All they want to do is tax because you got it. We'll just keep taking it. That is, I would call complete economic ineptitude because the Biden administration didn't just stumble. I think this is where the misnomer is. People think, it just didn't work out. They weren't that, competent. That's not it at all. The economy stumbled because it was a full sprint into failure. They wanted it to happen that way. They inherited the strongest economy in modern history from President Trump. Pre-jabademic numbers that were the envy of the entire world. Go look this up. And unemployment was at a historic low, 3.5%. Black unemployment was at record low. Hispanic unemployment was at record lows. Go look it up. It's all right there. They won't talk about it anymore. Wages, they were rising the fastest for the low-income workers in history, fastest ever. Energy independence for the first time in decades. Drill, baby, drill didn't start this year. It started back then. We were also exporting oil. Gas prices were under $2.50 a gallon. I still have a picture the day that Trump left office on my phone. I know what the gas prices were even like down here. The stock market was hitting all-time highs back then. Factories were coming back. The America First agenda was actually delivering for working families. So for you boomers like me who built this country together with other people and deserve to enjoy it in retirement without watching your grocery bills double, we were happy. Do you remember that? Then Biden somehow took over. What happened when he took over? Day one, he opened the borders and flooded the labor market with millions of newcomers. He passed a $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan that was nothing but a Democrat slush fund, printed money like it was Monopoly, and spent it like they didn't care. Not for your benefit, for their own. They shut down American energy production. They canceled the Keystone Pipeline, remember? They paused new oil leases. They bowed to the green new scammers. Result, inflation skyrocketed. It wasn't transitory. That was a BS word. And it definitely wasn't Putin's price hike, as they lied and lied and lied again. Go look it up. Don't take Barry's word for it. Everything I'm saying, you could verify. That was their policy. Supply chains snarled from lockdowns. They extended for political reasons. Energy prices shot through the roof. Gas hit $5, $6 a gallon in places. And we're not talking for a couple weeks. See, right now they are pouncing on the fact that gas may be more expensive because of what's going on in Iran. But we're talking about a momentary price increase. Go look and see how long gas prices were up at $5 and $6 a gallon. Your groceries were up 25 to 30% in some categories. Used cars, forget it. They're up 40%. Rent, through the roof. The rent's just too damn high. And interest rates, I'm serious. Go back and look. The Fed had to jack them up to fight the inflation the White House was creating. So your mortgage, your car loan, your credit cards all cost more. All verifiable, not just me just saying this. I'm just reminding you of the life we had and then how Biden ruined it and then how they're playing right now like it, this is Trump's fault. When you can see everything they're doing to try to keep Trump from succeeding. Now, let me rephrase it. To keep you from succeeding. That's the problem. They don't give a crap about Trump. The reason why they hate Trump is because of what he's allowing you to do. If you are more successful, if you are more prosperous, they don't, there's no Democrat Party. Because that's where the gaslighting gets truly Orwellian in nature, my friends. The Democrats don't fail. What they do is nothing about failure. They rewrite history in real time because they don't have a choice, because their entire existence as a political party depends on propaganda. They can't run on their record. They can't point to results. So they flood the airwaves. The media just loves it because they get paid for it. Now they've got social media bots with the same script over and over and over. Trump's horrible. Everything was good before. Can't believe how things would be if Kamala was president. Don't believe your lying eyes, or back then, your empty wallet. Oh, it's Trump's fault, or it's the jabademic fault. Whatever buzzword or focus group tested phrase they're using now, they count on low information voters, the ones who get all their news from MSN, whatever it is now, TikTok. They count on that to have the memory of a goldfish. 4 years. 4 years. Go back and look it up. If you ever get to a point where you're like, what was it like? If you don't remember, go look it up. Orange Man bad. That's all you need to know. You lived through Carter's insanity in the 70s with gas lines at double-digit inflation, interest rates at 20%. You saw Reagan come in and fix it all with supply-side economics. You watched Clinton triangulate because the country demanded it. You cheered when Trump delivered the pre-jabademic boom. Things were starting to really take off. And then somebody introduced some sort of foreign thing and made us shut down not just the country, but basically the world's economy. The desperation was so bad, they felt they had a need to shut down the entire world economy because somebody might be getting too popular. Let that sink in. He was so much of a threat. MAGA was so much of a threat, they had to shut down the entire world, not just the United States. They're hoping you don't remember where this thing came from. It came from China, as President Trump said. And then they were able to finagle something, and Biden's all of a sudden president, and that's when the suffering really set in. It was one thing to, have to run around and get shots and everything, but then you got to go through 4 years of that crap. You saw your 401k take a hit. You saw your grandkid's first apartment cost more than your first house. You saw the most diverse administration in history, as if that matters this much, deliver the most painful economy for working people since the Great Depression. And now here we are in 2026 with Trump back in the White House, and what do you see? The contrast, if you actually look, is night and day. Trump's economy, the real one, the one that's roaring back right now, without there being, a foreign disease introduced, is delivering exactly what he promised. So what do they do now? They shut down TSA, and they're causing all these lines. And I want to tell you something about these lines that you're seeing. Notice what airports they keep showing. Houston, constantly. Philadelphia, constantly. Atlanta, constantly. They're seeking out the shitty airports. I just told you a little while ago, Ashley and the kids are down here for spring break. Hey, Ashley, how were the lines in Raleigh? She goes, I thought we had first-class service because we walked right in. Funny. No news reporters in Raleigh. No news reporters in Fort Lauderdale. No, but they're in Houston. They're in Philadelphia. They're in Atlanta. Why? Why are they there instead of not the airports that you can just go right through? It's a ruse. Everything about this is a ruse. Even the shenanigans that the Senate did the other night when they shut down and had 3 people in sessions at 3:00 in the morning and voted something in. And so what happened immediately after that? Every Democrat is out there telling you it was a 100% vote. Everybody, you weren't even there. It was a fake vote. Wow. The border is secure. Wages aren't being suppressed. Energy dominance is being restored. We're drilling. Pipelines are opening. American oil, we are a net exporter, meaning we export more than we take in. Inflation is tamed back down towards 2%. Stock market at record highs all over again. Unemployment dropping. Black and Hispanic workers seeing the biggest gains. $260,000 a year for electricians to work on data centers, factories being built and opened, all because Donald Trump is in office. The red states are booming, blue state holdouts are bleeding. Mondami can't even figure out how to do anything out there without stealing money. And they expect you that this is bad. You're looking at leadership the way it's supposed to be. That's what America First delivers. The Democrats, they're still peddling the same tired lies. They try to trot out the same clips, the same talking points, hoping you'll forget the video evidence staring you right in the face. You can go look up all this information. They hope you'll forget that Biden bragged about Build Back Better, whatever the hell that meant, while your grocery bill built back worse. They hope you'll forget that Kamala Harris was the border czar who never went to the border. Meanwhile, it was wide open. And fentanyl killed 100,000 plus Americans per year. They hope you forget that every single promise, no one making under $400,000 will pay more in taxes. How'd that work out? Inflation will be transitory. Oh, that was a good one. Because without their propaganda, without the gaslighting, without the corporate media running interference 24/7, the Democrat Party has nothing. I've been telling you that. They got nothing. No ideas, no results, just derisive division, debt, and delusion. You know what really pisses me off the most about all this? These are the same people who lectured you about facts over feelings when it suited them. The same crowd that called you a conspiracy theorist for noticing certain things. And how many of these conspiracy theories have ended up coming true? We just had an election down here in Palm Beach. And I was telling everybody, I told you, go back, look at the show. I'm like, just chill. Just wait. And all of a sudden news broke out that some guy had the flash drive with access to the voting machines and he got arrested. We'll see what happens. Everything you're seeing is being caused by these people because they know what's coming. They are demanding that you ignore everything good. The actual receipts, the receipts you can actually look up. And they want you to pretend that the last 4 years were the golden age. You, being in MAGA, have to stand strong. You have to help others stand strong. This isn't going to work if people just continue to splinter off. You voted 1 or 2 times with your eyes wide open, maybe 3 times. You voted to reject the gaslighting. You voted to bring back the Trump economy because you lived through the Biden disaster. So what you need to do is share that. Share that fact. Post that on your Facebook page. Post that in your email chains, your church groups. Remind your friends and your enemies and your family, maybe one and the same, your neighbors, who might still be stuck in the blue state bubble. They can pretend all they want, but we have the receipts. We are armed with the weapons we need to win. We've got video. We've got news clippings. We've got life. You don't even have to look anything up. Just go through the things that you endured. Remind them what real economic leadership looks like. Remind them that America doesn't have to be a place where the government spends you into poverty and then tells you you need to be grateful for it. Remember to tell them that you want a country where you're not asking the government to do something for you. I showed you that tweet last week where the guy was like, oh, Trump doesn't care about you. I'm like, dude, see, that's your problem. You want someone to embrace you and hold you and nipple feed you. I don't need that. I just need government to get out of the way. Let me do business. Let me figure out things on my own. I'll take responsibility and I will prosper. See, every time they get involved in something, they screw it up. On purpose. And that's what you have to remember. They're doing it on purpose. It's not a mistake. It's never been a mistake. They believe them when they tell you who they are. They want high taxes. They want to bring in these newcomers. They don't care about America, and they definitely don't want you prosperous. And if you remember that, and you can tell everybody you know, yeah, you're right. They just want us a form of barefoot and pregnant. That's it. I'm not going there. And you shouldn't either, and you shouldn't accept it. You deserve more. You deserve everything that you can earn. You deserve everything for your family. And success, it shouldn't be a pipe dream. Success shouldn't be something that other people get and you don't get. We all have a ladder. We all have a roadmap as to where we want to go in life. Let's go with it.